Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to ELTea Time MENA, which is our coffee break style advancing learning podcast, where each episode I'm joined by a guest, an educator based right here in MENA, which is the Middle East and North Africa region. Together, we discuss or engage in a 30-minute discussion or conversation on a contemporary topic of their choosing over a nice cup of tea. Today, I'm joined by Faisal Ben Khalifa. Faisal is the director of the foundation program at Dhofar University. Faisal holds an MA from the UWE, which is in Bristol in the UK. It's a university. He is a senior fellow of the Advanced HE UK and an OAAA external reviewer for GFPs in Oman. He's also a certified human development trainer. He comes with a wealth of experience in teaching and learning, student motivation, governance and management, leadership, quality assurance, and strategic and operational planning. He's currently pursuing his PhD in education in the University of Sunderland in the UK, and he's a nascent researcher in the field of leadership, management, and organizational change. And I think it's fair to say that you like acronyms, Faisal. There's a million acronyms in that bio.
I do, yeah.
But welcome to you, Faisal. Good afternoon. Welcome to the podcast. We're really happy to have you with us today. Before we start, we always introduce ourselves and tell us about our tea that we are drinking. If anybody's joining us live, let us know what hot drink you're drinking today. Faisal, if you haven't been with us before, I'm experimenting with all different types of tea. So each episode, I try something a little bit unusual and different. Today, I've got vanilla chai, which I'm not sure about yet. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, your eyes are like, not sure. Faisal, I know you don't have tea with you. Do you have a favorite tea? Do you like tea?
I like the tea that my wife usually prepares at home. It's tea with ginger, and it really tastes nice, and it's really lovely.
Nice. Tea with ginger, and Nasser's got black coffee with organic honey. Sounds very healthy. Okay, so let's get started. So today's topic is actually not a general topic at all. Normally we pick a general topic and then have a discussion about it. But for the first time on ELT Time, the topic has been determined by an event. So an upcoming event that Faisal is joining us to introduce, which is his upcoming conference. The conference is being organized by Faisal and the Dhofar University team, and it's taking place on the 17th and 18th of February, so 1 week from now. You can find out more information and register for the conference. I'll post the link as well, so you can join the conference. But I invite everybody to get involved in this conference. It's going to be great. So let's get started. Faisal, first of all, I want people to get to know you a little bit better because they might not know who you are. So let's start with our first question. Let's just think up a little bit about you. Can you tell us a bit about who you are, what you do, how you ended up at Dhofar University, maybe?
Thank you, Nathan, for the introduction. My name is Faisal Ben Khalifa. I'm currently the director of the foundation program here in Dhofar University, which is situated in Salalah, Oman. If people do not happen not to know Oman. I joined Dhofar University in 2007 as an instructor, in fact, as an English instructor. Then after a couple of years, I just became a program coordinator for the evening cohort under the Continuing Education Center. That was a wonderful experience for me, and I learned a lot. And then after that, I became a program coordinator again, but for another level, which is level 3. That was in 2012. And in 2013, 14, I became the deputy director of the foundation program. That was for 1 year. And then after that, I was appointed as a director. So the 1st of September 2014, I became the director of the foundation program here at Dhofar University. So it was a journey actually from instructor to director, and then I'm still the director of the foundation program.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, it's been quite a journey, full of events. Yeah, but it was really lovely, with lots of experience, etc.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you just mentioned, I'm doing my PhD in Sunderland in the UK, and my PhD is in education, with it's related to, again, management and leadership and change, particularly institutional change at the high education level. So I'm really interested in how to change people and how to change institutions, and how to bringing like an added value to universities, schools, institutions. For the moment, I'm really interested in making changes I mean, institutions of higher education, whether it's at the university level, at the college level, at the foundation level, etc. So I'm reading a lot about theories and approaches to changing, the institutions, because that's, I believe that's a very tough topic, and then that's needed, especially that we have on a daily basis, I would say, we have new normals. People are talking about the new normal, which was COVID, the pandemic. But yes, I believe that we have new normals. Things are getting, faster and faster and faster all over the world, and different things are coming our way, and we have to tackle things, as they come. So basically, we have to be thoughtful, creative, innovative, and we have to be transformational in order for us to make sure that we tackle things the way they should, to end up in the right place and not to end up in the wrong place.
Yeah, I mean, expectations definitely have changed. So you've been at Dhofar for such a long time. You're definitely part of the furniture down there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm part of it.
Considering you've gone
and I love it.
that journey from instructor to higher management, do you think that journey has influenced your leadership qualities, that your approach to leadership, the fact that you've been in one place and you've done all of the levels of work throughout? Do you think that really helps inform what you do?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it absolutely did. I mean, it absolutely did. Yeah, just to, whenever you are given a role, a higher role, a leadership role, say like role of a coordinator, a program coordinator, you see things differently from an instructor.
Yeah.
And then if you are given a higher level, then you see a bigger picture. And then the higher level you get, you are seeing a bigger picture. So it's really a different experience. As a director, it's different. It's quite a journey. And then it's full of like lots of experiences, meeting at a higher level, different councils, making decisions at a higher levels, etc. And this is why maybe I ended up having a PhD in leadership and management and probably organizational change.
Yeah.
It's this is one of the reasons, because I love my job, I love my role, and I feel that I can be influential. And basically, Nathan, just I've achieved. I mean, as you mentioned in the intro, I've achieved the senior fellowship from the Advanced Stage in the UK. Given and that was basically impact. It was basically about management and impact. I mean, the level and the scope of the impact you've done at your role there. So it was for 5 or 6 years of I feel I've done a lot to the foundation program. Of course, along with the team, I have a wonderful team. We call it FPAC here. It's the Foundation Program Academic Council. They're all lovely, and then they help me a lot. We think together, we make decisions together, and then we go ahead. We are fearless. We are not reactive. We are proactive. We think creatively. We think innovatively, And we ended up doing lots of things, and we think that we are taking the lead in terms of the foundation program, comparatively.
Like some of the words, I was going to ask another question, which was, do you think you have like a particular style or philosophy when it comes to management, educational management? But it sounds like you've kind of just answered that: proactive, it being a team effort, trying new things, experimenting, these types of things. Yeah, really nice.
Let me tell you that just I intentionally and purposefully I'm following the transformational leadership style. It's called the transformational leadership style, which is a very particular and very interesting leadership style, which is proactive and then believes in the potential of the people, of the human capital. And in the foundation program here at Dhofar University, we have a wonderful human capital that is really thoughtful and helpful and ready to go the extra mile. And we did a wonderful job when we had the first audit back in 2017. And then I think we kind of came first in terms of achievements and commendations. We've got so far 6 commendations, which made us, ahead of all the foundation programs in the Sultanate. And we're proud of that. Ever since we've done, drastic changes, and I'm going to talk about them later if you allow me. Yeah. So drastic changes that have taken the foundation to new heights and new levels, which, the students, the staff, the higher management is proud of. And of course, there is no limit. The sky is the limit. And we are still thinking of more innovations and how to improve and streamline the programs themselves, the services themselves. And I'm these days kind of, along with my team, working on the mindset, the thinking that education doesn't happen, teaching doesn't happen in vacuum. Teaching happens when you address mindset. People have to just, leave their comfort zones. Students, when they come to Dhofar University or any other university, sometimes you find some people that they're happy with their habits, they're happy with their comfort zones. So we want to take them from the fixed mindset to a growth mindset, as Carol Dweck, the famous, Carol Dweck, the professor in psychology in the US, just mentioned in her book, these, mindset, the psychology of success. So I do, Nathan, I really do believe in that. Just 3 weeks ago, I had a meeting with the students. Actually, it was a workshop, a training workshop. I addressed mindset, and basically that was the summation of a couple of books. One of which was the Psychology of Success, the one that I mentioned, written by Carol Dweck. And another one was the Power of Intention. I think the professor, if I remember well, Professor Wayne, I think Wayner, I can't remember the name exactly, but just that was the summary of those 2 books. Students appreciated that. They were happy, very happy. And then some of them came to my office and then took, I have a bunch of books, e-books in my flash drive. So I hand them over to the students. They were very happy with that. So basically, we'd like to just push the students away from their comfort zones, and they have to move. Because it's the entire story, Nathan, is not about content. It's not about content. Content doesn't really end up in void. We have to have students ready once they come to the college. Once they come to the university, they have to be ready for new challenges. They have to sweat, they have to work, they have to exert themselves. It's not simple, but easy. It's not simple, it's not difficult, but it's not easy as well. But I would say it's simple if you have the right mindset, if you have the right approach to it. It's gonna be simple. So you have to just believe in yourself. You have to, roll your sleeves, and then you have to go for it. Yes. This is what we keep telling our students.
Yeah, attitude like you say,
Yeah, attitude.
getting stuck in there.
Yeah, definitely. Attitude is really very important. And I think this is the struggle. Many teachers struggle with the students. They are wonderful teachers. The problem is sometimes learning doesn't happen because of this. This is one of the major issues, that students are not ready to go. Their motivation level is very, very, ground level. They come late. Sometimes they just skip classes. Lots of problems which cannot be fixed when you just address content. Yeah. When you just teach, they can be addressed when we just take a moment away from books, away from syllabi, curricula, English, math, IT, whatever, and then we sit down and discuss. We have to just have students as partners. We have to believe in them, and we have to just make them speak. We have to hear their voices. They have to say something. They have to just account for why they are not interested, and we start from there. We cannot start from where we are. We have to start from where they are in order for us to just move to the next level. Otherwise, I don't believe things can work the way they should without having students as partners in the program.
Yeah, I said something similar the other day, actually, about how we feel affects our ability to learn, definitely. So
exactly, yeah. That's Nathan, the humanistic approach to teaching and learning. The humanistic approach to teaching and learning is taking the body as a whole, the student, the learner as a whole, not just it's an entire entity which has emotions, which has relationships, etc., and which has a psyche that is affected even by a single negative word. So that's why we as teachers, we have to mind our words, no matter what.
And it doesn't have to be words. It can be anything. It can be things that you don't even perceive that they're thinking or feeling. It could just be
definitely,
you choosing another student to answer a question. What impact does that have? These types of things. It's like exactly. Say, psychology, dynamics, emotions, well-being, all of these things, and it's a nice advancement, I think, in the field of education, moving away from
definitely
the original approach, the blank slate approach. Filling the jug. They're just empty vessels that we fill with knowledge and send them on their way. Those days are kind of gone, I think. So, and that's a good thing.
I can't agree more. Yeah, those days are gone. And we have plenty of. I think now we don't have a paucity in approaches and methodologies and techniques and strategies. We have plenty to serve us. The only problem is that we have to just have the mindset to think about to think about things and to think about how we address them and how we implement them properly in the class. Yeah. With the advancement in psychology, with the advancement of neurology, I think now we have different approaches that are not only taking the personal level, the social level, the interpersonal level, even the neurological level of the learner. So I don't believe in singling out one level, but just because we are a very complex human being as learners, very complex. We have to just take the entire whole and then just go ahead. So I believe in an eclecticism that we have to, I don't believe in one theory. Now, actually, we're talking, that we are talking about post methods, periods, where we have to just, not only single out one method, but just maybe we have to just, think, start from the classroom itself and go back, which is back engineering. We cannot just parachute things on the students. We have to start from students. Even now people are just challenging the idea of a synthetic curricula and syllabi, just the set syllabi, the set textbooks, etc. I know that things have to be taken with a pinch of salt, definitely, but just sometimes we have to have a set curricula for people to be in uniformity. But of course, we should not be, I believe that we should not be dictated by a textbook. We should not do a textbook literally from line to line, activity to activity, page to page. I don't really believe in that. I believe that we have to just, just to tweak ourselves the way our students are, and we start from our students, and then we go ahead with them the way we should.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, obviously, I work with textbooks and course books a lot, but my recommendation has never been to follow it page by page. I think really the advantage of a course book and a curriculum is that it keeps a big group of teachers on a path. So they're all heading towards a particular goal. It helps people to structure a little bit, but there should be ample space for flexibility with it on that path to deviate, to find out interests, to bring other content in, where you feel it's necessary. It's about knowing your students and adapting what you're doing, adapting the path for them, but with the end goal in mind. I think that's
exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
nice. I agree. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I think we should have. Well, I almost think we should have changed the title of the podcast, because we've got into educational leadership and styles, and it's such a really interesting area of discussion. But I want to bring us back a little bit. Let's come back to the conference theme. So it's called Shaping New Understandings in ELT. So why don't you tell us why did you choose this particular title? Why is this theme particularly important, do you think, for 2022?
Yeah. Okay, that's a very good question. Thank you for that. Yeah, actually, just in a matter of fact, that we spent maybe I would say 4 weeks thinking about the title and the theme, because that's I know that's going to be representative of who we are and who we and what we are thinking in the field. So I would say there are a couple of words in the theme that really very important. The first one is new. So we don't want to be traditional. We want to be innovative. We want to be, creative, and we want to like think futuristically, if you like. And the second word is understanding. So as I mentioned, I think we have plenty of approaches to ELT. Plenty of methodologies, plenty of techniques, plenty of strategies. So I think we are not in reality in need of any more approaches, so to speak. We are in need of a different understanding, a brand new understanding. And another thing in the theme is the word understanding. You could see that it's in the plural. So the plural inflection in understanding is really very telling for us. And we wanted the S to be there. So we are not after a single monolithic like viewpoint, perspective, stand. We want different perspective, because everybody has something to say, and everybody comes from a different angle. Everybody comes from a different perspective, and everybody has to say something. Once someone is coming to the table, people are bringing different angles and perspectives. So we want them to reflect those perspectives, and this is why we choose to have the new. We want to shape new if you like, understandings in the field. This is really very, very important.
Actually, I'm going to pitch this question to anybody who's listening in the audience. Actually, when you see this with this title, what things come to your mind? I'll tell you what comes to my mind actually when I see this, because I'm seeing this as a participant, obviously, of the conference itself. When I saw Shaping New Understandings in ELT, it made me think of innovation, as you were saying. So, how do we need to be creative and innovative moving forward in the field of ELT? Made me think of research as well. Bringing better quality research into ELT and having that inform what we do. And then, as a conference, it made me think about gathering people and drawing out their understandings of ELT and then putting them all on the table and helping each of us to change the way we think about it together, I guess. So it's not, like you said, not learning something brand new, but informing each other of how we feel about all those different approaches to ELT. That's how I saw it, which is nice. I think it's pretty good. I don't know if that.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that feeds into what it was you thought when you were sitting at a table, thinking up the...
Definitely, yeah, definitely, yeah. I would, Nathan, just let me tell you something. Just, I mean, we like to answer that question again. I mean, we can raise questions, you know. I mean, an answer to a question could be a question. So now we do have, I mean, everybody knows, everybody from the field knows that we do have plenty of approaches and methodologies. Now, how much of that goes to the class?
Yeah.
And when it goes to the class, I mean, does it go to the class? In what way? I mean, those theories and approaches and techniques go to the class. Do they go to the class, for example? Let me pick up one thing, for example. Now, let's say the communicative learning, the communicative language teaching, for example. Now, as far as I know, that's a wonderful approach to teaching, and that's student-centric. Now, what my reading and my observation throughout the years is that wonderful approach has not been, you know, implemented fully in its strongest version in the classroom. Okay, so that's one of the things. So we do have a wonderful approach. I mean, of course, I mean, we can speak about the downsides of the approach, but just I'm speaking about the upsides of the approach. So we have a wonderful approach, but just why it's not working. Sometimes it doesn't work. Why students are like still, you know, they are still bored. Why students are like skipping classes. Why students are not learning. Even sometimes good students are not able to learn. So why students are not, I mean, they are lacking in motivation, you know. So I mean, lots of questions that they need to be answered, and in order for these to be answered, we have to have new understandings for that. And also we have lots of, like, I mean, to be honest, we have lots of hype when it comes to the I mean, to the world of ELT. People, I mean, like I would tell you that we have lots of hype in the sense of, I mean, many buzzwords, like, for example, brain-based learning, for example. It's there everywhere, and neuro-linguistics. But the problem is just, I mean, how much do we understand this? Another problem is also, don't we think that this is, I mean, the field of neurology is I mean, when it comes to teaching and learning, I feel it's still in its infancy. And in spite of that, what happens is we are just taking things for granted and then saying, okay, I have the panacea for learning. It's the brain-based learning. Let's go for it. I have the panacea for true learning. Yeah. It's neuro-linguistics.
I saw somebody mention about critical thinking in the chat box, and critical thinking is exactly one of those things. I think we often, and I think this is a challenge, going back to the conversation we were having before about educational leadership, very difficult, I think, to bridge the gap between putting something in a lesson plan and being able to say, you know, when you do an observation, oh, this was a critical thinking activity, but actually evaluating the as you said, the efficacy of the activity itself. What made it a critical thinking activity? What were they actually doing? Who was doing it? Who wasn't doing it? Do they know that they were doing it? All of these types of more practical questions. That bridge is very difficult to bridge. That gap.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so sorry, go on. Go.
I think Dr. Sabina she's one of the speakers in the conference, and she's having a wonderful talk about critical thinking. And the talk is basically about you know, I mean, she spotted a gap in critical thinking, because usually critical thinking in the classroom is most of the time associated with the scaffolding, the productive skills in the classroom. But basically, when we, as teachers, when we think of critical thinking, we think of writing and speaking. But she's in her talk, she's going to be saying that we have to just think of the other receptive skills as well. They need, I mean, critical thinking, and I mean, critical thinking is not only tied up to those skills, but to different other skills. And she is also going to be talking about the fact that critical thinking is not something that we have to bring up to the class at a later stage, at a later age. We can teach critical thinking even at school level from grade 1. So it's not that we have to bring it to the class when students come to university, whether it's in the college or the foundation program. Yeah. So it's not. We have to think about critical thinking in a very different light, and this is how we construct new understandings to things.
Yeah, absolutely, and I would totally agree. In fact, I would push it even earlier, pre-primary students.
Yeah, definitely.
Early critical thinking skills. And it's just about getting them to question, to look, observe, question where things come from. And little kids actually are quite they do question stuff. Anyone who has little kids knows that they ask the most amazing, interesting questions. So sometimes it's just embracing that inquiry mindset.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. Nathan, actually, research is telling us that, in average, kids are asking 100 questions in a day. Yeah. That's a huge amount of question. And the problem is sometimes, parents are busy and they don't have time to answer those questions. They end up, just hashing the kids down and then just, leaving them. And maybe that's a pity, because, just the more kids are, ask questions, the more they grow in critical thinking and in thinking itself, and they thrive, and they grow,
yeah.
In terms of their psyche, in terms of their mind and brain, etc., and Absolutely. Become better and better and smarter, actually.
Yeah, and it's always been an area of interest for me, because I've worked right across the whole platform. So I've worked with nursery right up to young adults. So I've seen all the different types of approaches to all the different types of age. And it's, for me, definitely one area of education that I think needs to be addressed is that as students go through the whole kind of learning journey, it becomes more formal, it becomes less active. And we take that away from students. We tell them, we're almost indirectly telling them that it's not okay to be active, to question. This is the subject, this is the knowledge, you need to have this. We're busy, we've got assessments coming up, you need to get your projects done. And yeah, some of those early learning abilities that students have, I think, need to be embraced. Okay, you mentioned Sabina. We've got one last question, which is, what else can we look forward to at your conference? What other things have you got going on?
In the conference also, we're going to be having a wonderful, 4 wonderful booths. One for Macmillan Education. The other one is for Cambridge University Press and Assessment. Another one is for Oxford University Press. And the last one is for Dhofar University. So I would, advise people to just go to the booths. And I think they would be, I'm not really sure, but just I think they are already accessible, because I talked to the platform organizers, and then I asked them to make them accessible. I think they are. Just let me check that. But they have plenty of staff over there. Just I like people who are interested in these wonderful publishers to go and just check them out and see how things work. We have the facility of having a chat. There is a chat box over there. Even live chat can happen through a live conversation or teleconferencing with those people who are standing on the day of the conference for the couple of days, which is the 17th and 18th of February. So yes, go ahead and just check those booths out, and then I'm sure you won't regret it. Plenty of stuff over there. So
yes,
it's going to be nice.
The Macmillan Education team are going to be there. We've got one of the booths, so definitely come and say hi to us and explore the booth. There's lots of virtual interaction. There's videos there. Like you said, there's going to be someone that you can chat to live. So if you have questions, come and say hi to us. It's effectively like a real conference, but done in the online world. You've got a very cool interactive conference platform that you're using right this year, which I've not seen for any of the other conferences. It looks really really cool and exciting.
Yeah. Thank you for that. We wanted it to be so. We were planning to have an actual conference, a physical conference, face-to-face conference, and we wanted people to just come and just see, smell Salalah, taste Salalah. It has plenty to offer to people. We wanted to have a one day prior to the conference to the academic staff, so that people can have a tour of the sites here, go to the mountain, go to the beach, and etc. Enjoy themselves, see the trees, the coconut trees, have a drink of the coconut milk itself, which is unique to Salalah. But unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we were pushed back, and then we wanted everybody to be safe, so we transferred the conference to an online conference. But with that, we thought, why not create a virtual experience to our lovely audience, in order for them to have a first-hand feel of the conference. And this is why we just wanted to, we actually hired a company, it's called VRD, in order for them to just, design a wonderful platform for us. Yeah, so it's really lovely. I've received lots of thumbs up from many people.
Yeah, me included. Yeah, I mean, I would advise people to come to the conference just to see the virtual reality platform, because you actually do walk around the university. To go to a session, you actually go into like an auditorium, and it looks like you're kind of in there sitting, and you can see people. It looks very cool. I'm excited to see it all in action.
Yeah.
And you've also got kind of 4 or 5 keynote speakers, some really interesting talks going on, lots of other speakers. You've got about 30, I think, haven't you? 30 other speakers going on?
Yeah, 30 and more.
Yes. Any particular sessions that you're excited to visit?
Yeah, actually, all the sessions are wonderful. Just let me maybe walk you through some of the sessions. Like Dr. Reynolds, he's going to be taking us on a wonderful journey about language. Actually, he's going to be asking a question about how to identify and describe language that matters. Again, let me repeat that: language that matters. Which language that matters to the students? This is a fundamental question. Given the fact that we students are set in a multilingual context, so he's going to be taking us away from the idealistic, especially that our students are now in where we are. They are away from the idealistic and rarefied and homogenized contexts where English used to be dominating. Now students, as soon as they step out of the classroom, they just speak Arabic or other language, not English. So language here is at stake. So which language to teach? Language matters. How to identify, how to select, and how to describe that language to the students. Another professor, his name is Professor Shahda from the University of Sharjah. He's going to be talking about an interesting topic, which is the autonomous learning. He's going to be talking about the autonomy of learner and its actual application to the modern teaching and learning settings. So I think he's going to be highlighting the effectiveness of the partnership of students in this teaching and learning process, and that would be very, very interesting. Another talk is going to be by Dr. Salah. Is going to be along the same lines as Professor Shahda, but it's a bit different in the sense that he's spotting a gap in autonomous learning experience related to the fact that the teacher was not involved in the process of autonomous learning, in the feedback. The teacher didn't provide his or her feedback on autonomous learning. So he's proposing a 5-step institutional strategy that would put the student and the teacher in a partnership in order to recreate the idea of autonomous learning. So that's a wonderful topic as well. Another professor, Professor Ali Al-Isa, He's coming from a different perspective, from the, if you like, critical applied linguistics, and also critical theory, and also critical literacy background. And he's taken us on a journey to show us how to achieve a more democratic English language education in the Sultanate through reimagining, rethinking educational policy, textbooks, assessment, and I think he's going to be talking about the pre-service English language teaching education. So he's got lots of stuff on this, and this is very innovative, and this is a bit critical, but I'm sure this is taking us to a new level. Another professor from the UK, her name is Dr. Taras. She's, telling us, she's going to be telling us about assessment and learning and how they should be working in tandem together. So she's going to be exploring the assessment and its relationship to learning. That's really very important. And the problem, Nathan, is that sometimes, we take assessment of learning, but we're not really very serious about assessment. For learning, it's of learning, but not for learning. And she's going to be talking about that controversy and that the difference between the two, because we have to look at learning and assessment as working together, helping each other, and not like they are not enemies over there. They are not foes over there. They have to be working together. That's an interesting talk for everybody to be looking up for. I think you are with us as well. You're going to be talking about a very interesting topic, I believe. Yes. I like that topic because I'm already in leadership. So student leadership is an innovative topic. So that's going to be a wonderful topic. You're going to be demonstrating that student leadership is an essential part of I think, the sustainability enterprise in education. And you're going to be talking about the potential role that could play, in rethinking, reimagining the educational processes in a post-COVID world, as you mentioned. Okay, so that's going to be. I do believe in leadership and partnership, and also student leadership. That's very important, because that would really make students autonomous, make them accountable, make them just be part of the entire learning process, rather than be isolated. We are the decision makers, and they have to oblige to whatever we think of, and we just give them. It's not spoon feeding. It's not like we are thrusting things on them, and they have to just toe the line and do it. They have to be part of the discussion. They have to be part of the deliberation. They have to be part of the entire learning process. It's their learning. It's not our learning. It's our teaching, but they're learning, and they have to be part of it. So I believe the topic is really very, very wonderful. Very exciting, and I'm looking up for it. Yeah. We do have many other topics. Maybe we don't have the time to just go all over the topics, but most of the topics are really innovative, and they are really just giving us I would say, a different kaleidoscopic, view of how we have to just, start, reimagining, rethinking new and fresh understandings about what's going on in the classroom, how it should go on in the classroom, from the moment we start doing our preparations for the classroom until we finish, and then we come back to the office. We have to be reflective, and we have to just keep thinking about how we can deliver the best. It's our destiny to be teachers. I know that's not a very it's a very tough job. It's a tough destiny. And we have to just, and I think every teacher lives up to it. The only thing is that we have to have the right tools to improve ourselves. We have to set out on a journey of improvement. We should not let it rest until we are better and better and better, and maybe one day we come to the best of the entire. So it's a journey. It's not like it's a process. It's not a product.
Absolutely.
Yes, Nathan. Yeah.
As you mentioned, we have run out. You're so passionate about this, Faisal. I think we could probably carry on talking like this for quite a long time, but we have come to the end. The conference sounds absolutely great. I agree with Natia. I hope that we get lots of practical tips, not just what to do, but also how to actually make it happen. I think that's really important. I will try, Natia, to put as much practical elements into mine as well. And I hope that everybody does come and join us on the 17th and 18th at the conference. I think it's going to be great. As I mentioned, Macmillan Education will be there at the booth. I'm presenting one of the plenaries, as Faisal just mentioned. So definitely come and join my session. It's going to be great. And I will share the link. I did post on my own LinkedIn today, and the link to register and see the full program is there. So I'm sure most people who are with us now are probably connected to me on LinkedIn, so they can easily find the link to the conference there. Okay, Faisal, you don't have any tea, but my tea has come almost to the end. I've been drinking it here for 45 minutes. So I think that has brought us to the end of today's podcast episode. Thank you very much to everybody that has taken the time to grab a coffee or a cup of tea and join us this afternoon. We always love to have you with us. If you're listening to the recording of this, then please go and check out the conference website. For me though, Faisal, thank you once again for coming, for giving us such an amazing insight into the things that you're doing, the ambitions that you have, this passion you have for education and educational leadership, and for sharing with us some information about the conference next week.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, Nathan. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And we'll look forward to seeing everybody next week at the conference. And also, I'm sure we'll see lots of people at the Global Teachers Festival, which Macmillan are also starting next week on the 14th. I'm sure most people probably know about this. People are saying good luck for the conference, Faisal. But from me, Faisal, and from everybody who's with us this afternoon, have a great and wonderful rest of your day. Thanks, Faisal.
Thank you.
Everybody. Enjoy the day.
Thank you very much. Same to everybody and to you. Thank you.